All right, it's one of those days we got leg workout. So that's all you're gonna get today is just a good old leg workout. And I'm gonna read you what we're gonna do. Pull up the workout, because I always make my programs for myself so I could just get into it after I train somebody. So first exercise is gonna be a seated calf raise followed by like a low bar squat, box squat, sorry. And then our B1, B2, B3, B4 are going to be superset. So B1, B2 superset and B3, B4 superset. But I'm hitting like agonist and antagonist, so the opposite muscle groups. And then for another phase, we could do the same muscle groups. But I just wanted to also tell you, training at 4:20 right now, and I had a 7-hour day, and yes, I'm tired. Do I want to work out? Kinda, not really, but I know once I get going, I'm gonna start hammering, I'm gonna start feeling good. So I know that if you're working and you gotta work out later in the day and it's hard, just get it going. Just remember, man, you're like, to be able to have the ability to do this is a blessing. That's what I always tell myself, is someone that doesn't have the ability to train hard, to move in general, would kill to be able to have it. I'm not talking about someone that's obese. I'm talking about someone that's maybe handicapped, that lost a limb or whatever, you know. They would absolutely kill to be in your shoes, to be able to get up and go train. So yeah, so stick around for the leg workout. We'll talk about squats and low bar box squat and why I like to do it and what I'm trying to get out of it. But we're gonna do a quick little stretch here. I'm gonna show you one important one that you could do for hips. It's just gonna help with hip internal rotation. So if someone has like hip impingement, this is like one of my go-tos that I see a lot of people start feeling better when they do this, when they incorporate this. So if you wanna know if you have a deep hip impingement, get in a deep body weight squat and hold it for a while. If you have any pinching up by like the where the femur meets the hip socket, that's telling you that there is a pinch. So just want to pay attention to that. All right, I'm gonna get the stretch going. Okay, so this is the heavy band I'm using, pretty heavy. Again, you want to tie it to something low, so I'm tying it to this machine pretty low. You'll see why. So now we're gonna just test, just to see if this is gonna work for you. So I'm gonna lay down, I'm gonna show you internal rotation, and a lot of people lack this. So what you could do is lay down and see if you could internally rotate without moving the femur, the quad. I'm just gonna try to internally rotate as much as I can, actively, so as best as I can get. I'll try the other side and just see if they're balanced. I think they're balanced so far, but we're gonna see if we could increase that. So this is something you could do before you do the stretch, this banded distraction drill. So obviously do the leg where the band is closest to. So I'm gonna do my left leg. I wanna put this band all the way up to where the femur meets the hip socket. I'm gonna pull it all the way up there. Now the key here is to have the band be on an angle pulling it out. So right now, the band is parallel with my femur. So I'm gonna kind of scoot up where it's kind of at an angle and it's pulling it out. So I'm gonna scoot up forward, and there should be some tension. So now it's more on an angle where it's pulling it out of the hip socket. So I'm gonna be right here. For beginners, I always tell them to do it passively. So take your hand and push down on it. Try to keep your foot grounded as best as possible, and you're gonna hold for 5 seconds. And then you're gonna externally rotate out and just try to squeeze your glute. And just back and forth. The band should be tense. You should feel that. Shit's gonna feel uncomfortable. Just kind of going back and forth. As you get good at this, you've noticed that my foot's not coming off the ground. I'm trying to keep my foot grounded the whole time. So I'm a big golfer, as you know. I just started getting into it. You gotta have internal rotation in your hips to really use your hips more. If not, lower back gets involved. So this is something that I incorporate a lot of. Here's another angle, just so you see what I mean. And again, when I do this leg, I want to make sure this foot's in line with my hip. It's not out here, because I'm not going to get the benefit of it. Okay. Let's retest to see if we made any changes in internal rotation. So here we are. Definitely a lot more. Yeah. So I probably gained maybe a 10 degrees, maybe 15. I gotta look at it, but yeah, you tell me. But yeah, the shit works as long as you're eating clean, having a good clean diet, because when you're not eating clean and you're trying to open this stuff up and you're inflamed, because stomach is really indirect with the hip. So if the stomach is inflamed, it's going to cause the hips to be inflamed, and it's going to be really hard to get in better ranges, especially if you want to increase better hip internal rotation. So just remember that. Okay, so this is A1. A1's a seated calf raise. I like doing seated calf raise before a squat. I'm doing low bar back squat, so it's not a lot in the over toe. I just like doing it. This is great for the soleus attached to the heel. It's the deeper calf muscle that you don't really see. So we're gonna do 12 reps here. 2 second down, 2 second pause, and just drive up. 2, 1, and then 1, 2, 2, 1. This is also really good to do if you have bad ankle mobility and want to get it better. You could pair this with your regular back squat. So if you're doing your regular Olympic style squat, which is, you'll see on the screen, ass to grass squat. This is a good tool to use to help you get better ankle mobility, more dorsiflexion, because that's what we need at the bottom range of your squat. All right, we're gonna do low bar squat. We're gonna do 3-0-3-0, 10 reps. So 3 second down, 3 second back up. Total work that I'm looking for is 60 seconds, so a minute worth of work. Focus on making sure knees don't cross toes, feeling glutes, hips, good hinge, and just touching the box with my ass. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Alright, I'm resting 3 minutes. You're going to see the workout on the screen, and then obviously you'll have all the details for each exercise. I'm going to go up though. I'm going to go 175. 3 second down, 3 second up. Super important that you follow that for this. I like using this as a tool to not just work on a body part, but to work on getting my Olympic style squat better. So I want to make sure that I'm sitting up a little bit taller when I get in that knee over toe, ass to grass type of squat, because that's what Olympic style squat is. Remember when I first did this for like 3-4 weeks, then I went to a regular squat. I felt way different. I felt more, just my lower back, my erectors were just felt strong as shit. So that's what I'm trying to work on here. So remember, low bar box squat, use it as a tool or use it as a movement to get things stronger. Glutes, hamstrings, adductors, great tool for that. And of course, lower back erectors. So we got a minute 20 back to seated calf raise. I think this is a cool view, just being able to have the camera all the way back out. Yeah, so seated calf raise isn't gonna necessarily get your entire calf, size. Anything like where the knees bent is gonna put any size in it's called your gastrocnemius. I'm sure you know that, hopefully. If not, no worries. It's all cool in the hood, bro. With that 2-2-1-0 tempo, make these things burn. But I have all my athletes, I have everybody do this exercise, seated calf, for like 12 weeks or even longer, depending on how much they need it, just to strengthen all that, the ankle. All right, I'm feeling better about actually trying to train today. In the beginning, I just felt slow, tired. not motivated. So here we go. Let's get another view for the squat. Stick to the 5% rule when it comes to loading. I don't want you to end up getting hurt. Yeah, push yourself, but no need to put on a shit ton of weight, especially if you're new to doing tempo work like this. 3030 is fun, and there's a lot more, and you could do that with than just legs. Like I'm doing it with shoulder press too. Hopefully you watched my last video. I lost count. Okay, welcome to the voiceover. This is gonna be a longer voiceover, so this will be fun. First exercise we're doing is a single leg squat. So this is just going over a squat pattern because squat is up and down. This is not a Bulgarian. If you're thinking Bulgarian, Bulgarian's more knee, not over toe. And the shin angle is a little bit more perpendicular with the torso. So this one, again, you really want to focus on when you're doing this, making sure knee does not cave in, keep knee outside of toe, and really try to drive that knee over the toe. I didn't say this in the video, but make sure that when your foot is elevated, make sure it's elevated at least 12 inches off the ground, nothing higher than that. And then just do your best getting into your hips and driving that knee over that toe. Next exercise we're doing is a single leg calf hamstring curl standing. So the strength curve at this is going to be a little bit more mid-top range, so that's where it's the hardest. I see a lot of times when people are tight in the quads, the quads restrict them getting into that perfect knee flexion a little past 90 degree if you pay attention to that. We'll get back to that one too, and this is just kind of just talking about everything that I'm working on. So here's B3. B3 is a leg press, your standard leg press, going for 15 reps, trying to control that negative and trying to get deep into it. Focus on a good brace, and make sure when you do this, don't lock your legs out at the top. I've seen some injuries, not with myself and my coaching, but on videos of people locking out at heavy-ass weight in there. Yes, you know, you could probably get where I'm trying to go. But yeah, just be careful with leg press, load it up and try to just hammer 15 reps. This is a great exercise to do when you're fatigued, so you don't need a lot of other things to help assist in the movement, like a back squat. I wouldn't do a back squat in the middle part of my workout unless it's for a particular phase and I've earned it to do it in the middle part of the workout. So next one we're doing is a 45-degree back extension. This one's awesome because it hammers the posterior part of the back, the hamstrings, the glutes. So if you're unable to do 35% relative to your body weight, you should not be squatting just yet. The goal is to hit that number first, and then you'll be able to squat. This is just going to allow you to have a safer squat when you get deep in it, and just protect yourself. A lot of people can't do that weight, and it's something that's got to be worked for. And then when they get it, it's cool. When they go to their squat, they feel a lot stronger when it comes to their posterior chain. And posterior chain will drive up numbers. So the stronger posterior chain is in a back squat or and a front squat, you are going to lift heavier weight. If you lack posterior chain strength, you're gonna have a hard time pushing up numbers. So make sure that you really prioritize the 45-degree back extension. Now pay attention right here, single leg squat. I'm not letting my knee cave in. I'm really focused on keeping the pressure on my big toe, making sure my foot doesn't collapse, driving my knee over my toe, and trying to keep my upper body relatively tall. And I'm doing a dumbbell on the opposite side, so it's contralateral, so I'm really focusing on stability, making sure that it challenges that leg a lot more than from caving in. So this is just a great tool to do that. And doing this right when your knee is outside your toes, you're gonna feel a lot more hips. I'm sure a lot of you don't even pay attention of knee placement. You just think about just doing the movement, doing it for reps. You're missing out on a lot of work when you start focusing on correct alignment with your knee and your toe when you're doing any type of lunge. And this has to do with squat too. If you're not really spreading the floor when you're squatting, it's gonna be hard getting the hips involved. So we really wanna get the hips involved when we squat and do any type of lunge variation. So here we are again, standing leg curl. Hate these, and they're supposed to be hard. Unilateral, you are going to have weak hamstrings if you are new to single leg work. Everyone does seated leg curls, everyone does line hamstring curls, no one does full range leg curls, no one does unilateral leg curls. This is how you balance out your hamstrings. If you really want to bring up your hamstrings, like, this is the way to do it. You could do a line down single leg curl or standing, and then they make ones, I wish I had it, I want to get it, I want to invest in one, but a kneeling leg curl. So it's just gonna, the strength curve in that is different than standing leg curl. So just pay attention. If your gyms have all three of those, great, you're gonna dominate your hamstrings. You're gonna hit all different variations of the strength curve and that knee flexion when it comes to hamstring curls. Now don't forget about like hip extension work, like RDLs, 45-degree back extension, 90-degree back extension. That's gonna hit the more higher end of the hamstring. So we do not wanna neglect those, and I know a lot of people don't really hit those, so make sure that you do so your legs are balanced. And you know, especially if you're an athlete, you're just going to benefit it from a lot than someone that's not prioritizing their hamstring. So yeah, just make sure hamstrings need to be like 2 times stronger than your quads. So if I'm back squatting 200 pounds for reps, then you got to be able to do 2 times that in hamstrings. And a lot of injuries happen because of weak hamstrings, and hamstrings help cushion, or they help decelerate any type of force going on in the knee. So it's important to have really strong hamstrings. That's going to help protect your knees too. Now don't be afraid to challenge yourself with this leg workout. From the beginning, A1, A2 to the B series, you really want to challenge yourself and make sure you do weight that you're able to handle, that you're able to do for the proper reps, for the proper tempo that we do. This exercise right here, we're doing a 2-second pause at the top. I'm doing a 3-second negative going down as best as I can. Make sure that you lift with your hips. Your hips are the fulcrum point. My lower back's not doing it. So think about when you're going down, you're doing it actually an RDL, Romanian deadlift, hinging at the hips and driving through your feet and your leg and your hips at the same time. That's gonna be the powerhouse of the movement in that one. So yes, again, going back to like challenging yourself. I know a lot of you probably think you challenge yourself with legs, but I challenge you to challenge yourself with tempo, proper weight, and following the rest. So the rest protocol, that's gonna dictate where you are with weight. Are you a good weight or is it easy weight? That rest will tell you where you're at, and it's a cool tool that no one really paid attention to. Following the rest is going to allow you to be more efficient with your workout. You're going to get done within an hour, maybe an hour 10, maybe 50 minutes. Rest is this, no one, again, I'm saying it again because no one thinks about it, rest is just very underutilized, and rest dictates your type of load that you're doing. So when rest is up on certain exercises, you're going to feel like you're not ready yet, but you got to push yourself. That's where you're going to get the results. That's where you're going to get the benefit from the exercise. And this is something that no one talks about, and I'm stressing about it because it's crucial when it comes to training. You should not be in the gym over an hour, 15 hour, 20 minutes. If you're in the gym for 90 minutes, 2 hours, then there's probably a lot of talking, and there's probably a lot of inconsistent rest periods between your sets. And again, testosterone peaks at 45 to an hour. After that, it's just cortisol is just going through the roof. So you want to make sure that you keep your rest consistent as possible. I like to do this. So the voiceover is almost over, but for big movements like legs, on leg days, you're doing 3-minute rest after. If it's a front squat, if it's a back squat, if it's a deadlift, you're doing 3-minute rest. Otherwise, if I said otherwise for something else. But yeah, we'll talk about that again. Voiceover is just finishing up. So first things first, I want to just say thank you for watching my video today of how to train legs. And this is just one way to train them, focus on some things that I want to get better in. So low bar box squat, using it as a tool so my Olympic style squat could get better. And then yeah, some hammering glutes, adductors, hamstrings, and that with erector, spinae muscle. So that's going to allow me to sit more upright, because that's the role of that muscle, prevent the spine to go into spinal flexion. But I want you to see how the legs are looking, and then we'll close it out. I'm gonna get Mogi in here. You guys gotta say hi to Mogi. Look at Mo. He's such a fluffy, good boy. He's a good boy. Yes, he is. Now, before we close out the video, I just want to say that I wouldn't be where I'm at right now if it wasn't me, you know, putting in the work, believing in myself, and taking a little risk. And wow, just to be able to see where I'm at right now, it's just phenomenal. And it's just about believing in yourself and believing in what it is that truly makes you happy. So, and I want to say too is that I wouldn't be where I'm at right now if it wasn't for God. You know, God is a big part of my life, and I wouldn't be where I'm at. And this is something I never said here on YouTube, was I was homeschooled up to high school, and I'm super thankful I was at the time. I kind of like told my mom, like, why do I have to be homeschooled? It was me and my 3 other siblings too, but it was cool. It was cool to have that, and we were homeschooled for religious reasons, and I'm super thankful for that, because it got me closer within learning and strengthening my faith with God. And don't get me wrong, like growing up, like I made mistakes. I'm not perfect, just like you know, you're not perfect. We make mistakes, but it's about being aware of them. And at the time, I wasn't aware of, you know, why I was continuing making these mistakes. And of course, as we get older, we start to build more of that awareness of, is this right or wrong? Is this going to affect me in any way? So, and that's, for me, that's the Holy Spirit talking. So it's pretty cool. Other than that, I did want to talk about a specific movement, and it was called the single leg squat. It was the first exercise in the beef series. So single leg squat, it looks like I'm doing a Bulgarian. It's not a Bulgarian squat. Bulgarian squat is where the knee does not cross over the toes and the shin angle is more perpendicular to the floor. And that's not what I'm doing. I'm mimicking more of a squat pattern in the single leg squat. So driving my knee over my toes, upper body is staying, you know, as tall as possible with a little bit forward lean. And I was doing more of a one arm contralateral single leg squat. So it's really testing more stability, making sure that I'm not allowing my foot to collapse. So that's a really cool movement. And make sure when you're doing it, don't let your knee cave in, because if your knee's caving in, your foot's collapsing and you're not getting the benefit out of the glutes and the hip rotators, right? We want to hammer those muscles while we're still getting quad and hamstring involved as well. So make sure though, when you're doing that, that your rear foot needs to be 12 inches off the ground. No higher than that or no lower than that. So 12 inches is that optimal, I hate saying that. That's the specific range you need to be for that exercise. Other than that, I hope you got a lot of value out of this video today, and hope you crush legs. You try this, and let me know when you do try it. Comment below. Make sure you do subscribe so you don't miss things like this. I made sure that I put a lot of good stuff in here that's going to help you have a better leg workout, but overall feeling good outside the gym too, because that's the main goal of my channel, is not just hammering your workout and trying to get jacked, but it's also longevity, being able to function through your everyday life feeling good, being able to do things that you love, that make you happy outside the gym, and you continue to thrive in that if that's what you want to do. So again, I'm trying to progress in my golf game, so I know that I want to make sure that I'm, you know, getting strong, getting jacked, and still being able to have you know, mobility and being able to function in that aspect of that sport. So make sure you do leave a like, subscribe. It's just gonna help me as a small YouTuber, but also me and my family. You know, that's what it's gonna help, is help me and my wife potentially start a family here soon. So I know with your support, with you subscribing, with you leaving feedback, it's only gonna help me, it's gonna help you. So remember, it's all about you. It's not about me. It's about me continuing to give you what you're looking for. So I hope you do that for me. Other than that, keep lifting, keep being the best you can, and remember, do the things that make you happy. And for me, whoever you believe in, I make sure that I always offer my day to him. So other than that, appreciate you as always.